Today we're discussing one of the chapters or ideas from the laws of human nature, and this one in particular I'm going to call validation. The idea is simple. I want you to think back on the times recent or in the past where you have actually received validation from another person for some positive or good quality that you have. And if you think about it deeply, it's a pretty rare experience. That's quite sad, actually. In your workplace, for example, when people look at you, they don't see you as an individual, as somebody with your own tastes and desires and problems. They tend to categorize you as something. They tend to see you how they want to see you. And even in your personal relationships, a lot of that will carry over. And in those rare moments where somebody looks you in the eye and actually tells you about a quality or an act that you did that they really enjoyed, they really liked, it's like it has an incredibly powerful effect on you. Now, that's not to say that you're all goodness and wonderful and just a great person, because we all know that that's not true. It's not true of me. It's not true of any human being, not even of supposed saints among us. But you do have some good qualities. You do have things that need or should be validated. That could be something in your ethics, you support other people. It could be your brains, your intellect, something you've created, on and on and on. Or it could be your empathy, etc. You have these qualities, and to have somebody look at you and see you as an individual, not as a category, and say, you know, when you said that or when you did this, it was really meant something to you. It kind of melts you. It has a very powerful effect. Okay, so establishing that idea in your head about yourself, I want you to flip that around and to sort of sense the power you could have if you can give other people that feeling. And sadly enough, how rarely you do that, how you have a tendency to look at people and not see them as individuals, to kind of focus on their negative qualities. And if you focus on their positive qualities, it's always, oh yeah, but it's because they, they have this, that, and the other. They're privileged, they went to college, they da-da-da-da. And so you have the same problem that people give to you. And so what I'm asking of you is to think of this. William James, the great American psychologist, thought it was the deepest human need to feel validated by another person. Because if you think of it, who we are and how we think of ourselves depends on what other people think of us. We're a social animal, right? Nobody lives completely alone or isolated. And the worst feelings we have are when we feel ignored or when we feel like nobody appreciates us. So with that baseline, I want you to consider in your relationships with other people, in your workforce, if you want the power, the ability to influence people, to get them on your side, to get them to do things that you want, you have to first think of this fact that they require validation. And if you make them feel insecure, the opposite of this, about their intellect, about their morals, about their willpower, saying that they did something but they had no control over it, you're going to create an enemy. You're going to create the opposite of validation. So knowing the power in it, knowing the deep human need we all have for this, to be treated as an individual and to be respected and appreciated for some quality that we have, then use that power on other people and think of it, of how you can give them a sense of that validation, choosing the qualities. And often, particularly people who are successful, they tend to get a lot of validation from the public or whatever for qualities that have to do with their fame or their success, but they don't get it for other things that most people ignore. So look at those things where they need to feel validated, where other people aren't giving it to them, where there's a quality that they feel is underappreciated, and you can sense that in them. And give them that sense of, you see them for who they are, and you're reflecting back to them the sense that they are important, that they are worthy of attention, that they are a decent or brilliant or whatever kind of quality that you want to reflect back on them. So think deeply about that in all of your social interactions, particularly if you're trying to move people in any particular direction.